Iain White, online versus high street. Talk to me. Talk to the guys.
Okay, so I really don't see this as online versus high street. I don't see it as a game. I believe that it's just a choice that the consumer has, and I think there'll be more choices coming into play. So I just don't, I think online is as part of the estate agency fabric now as the traditional agents were.
I don't think it makes any difference where anyone trades from. Let's be honest, high street is an advantage, but it's not just because you've got a piece of glass on the high street doesn't mean you're going to get people ringing you, does it?
No, I think I just don't see the difference. I mean, obviously there's difference in the price points. So some agents are charging up front without a result, and others are charging on results only.
It is recognised in the industry that the likes of the online model, and I'm not talking about the small baby ones, let's be honest, purple bricks, I've got no more than probably 3% of the marketplace. Should estate agents be fundamentally changing their model and their focus for what is quite fundamentally a market share which has hardly grown in the last 12 months?
No, and I think that's the important thing. I think estate agents are getting the knickers in a twist over their national position, but that doesn't actually affect each individual branch. I mean, they really are in most locations pretty insignificant.
They are.
1-2% of the marketplace. So, however, I think it's reasonable to suggest that technology and as the consumer that we've got growing up in this world becomes the homeowner, that there may be some changes in how those people choose to do business.
What, more long term, more 5, 10, or 10?
Yeah, I mean, I think over a period of time, maybe today's guy coming out of school or university, when he starts to trade, buy, sell, and do what he does in 5, 10, 15 years' time, he's got his own family. I think he's going to expect a very different interaction to the buyers and sellers of either today or even yesterday.
So do you think these estate agents are ahead of their time, or almost too far ahead of the time, and almost taking the eye off the ball of their more traditional model?
Look, I don't agree with. The one thing I think is flawed is the paying up front for the service, whether that's from a high street premises or whether it's from an office or from your home. I do not believe the future of estate agency lies with charging the consumer a smaller amount up front without the result. That will have some traction, they will have some customers, but I don't believe it's going to penetrate the market in the way that the investors obviously think it will. Primarily because I'm not sure they're going to deliver the percentage of sales back, and eventually there's going to be too much.
You can't fool the market, can you? And at the end of the day,
not forever. You can for a short period of time. But I think the question is more about the charging model, and that is where there is more uncertainty about what is the future of estate agency. And if you're asking me, I think it probably involves a lot fewer branches, but still branches in larger places like a London or a Reading or whatever, in some of the bigger cities. Probably covering the same geographical location as maybe half a dozen existing, with probably a bit of a mix. I can see a little bit of money coming in up front to make sure the agent can market the property fully and properly.
Yes.
But with a slightly smaller reward based on the.
And this is the online model, or just generally throughout the estate agency industry?
I think that's generally where we'll end up. I mean, that's how the Australian market works. Albeit they actually take, in Australia their service levels and their attention to detail is so supreme that they are able to charge upfront, typically 1% of the purchase price they take up front as a marketing fund. So that's a substantial amount of money, and they charge 2 or 3% on the successful outcome. I
mean, you could almost say but the UK public are used to no sell, no fee. But then the other side of the coin is that purple bricks are charging them £900. But then it's defaulted, so humans are like, oh, I won't have to pay that because my house will sell anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't eggs for eggs, and that's starting to come to the fore now, isn't it? I mean, you're not paying purple bricks £900 to sell your house. You're paying purple bricks £900 to market your property, and you may or may not get a sale. I mean, if I was
you and I know that, but the punters, do you think the punters think the house is going to sell irrespective?
But I think that's where recent misgivings are going to force correct advertising and correct.
Well, it comes back to what you said earlier in the previous video. Is it's all about education and mindset. And you're so bang on the money there that if people have the right mindset and we can educate the potential vendors of the future that they really are there, what you could almost say is Purple Bricks are there. If you want to sell your house, go to Purple Bricks and an online listing agent. Our estate agents not there to sell houses, they're almost there to get the best price, aren't they?
Both. They've got to sell it or let it, and they've got to get the best price or the best rent for the landlord. And I'm not so sure that can be ever achieved in an I've already had my fee model.
No, it can't, can it?
You know, it's bizarre to me that they sell the viewing packs. So that they're expecting someone that's already had their fee. A client is giving them £800 to market it, and then let's say £200 for a viewing clerk to do the viewings. But what they're now saying is that, okay, I've got you £200, thanks very much, but you want me to go away and spend time phoning around on your property to create viewings that I'm not going to earn any more money from, and is going to take me away from my ability to feed my family by earning more money on listings. It's a completely unrealistic scenario.